eBay seems to have a very buzzy bee in its bonnet about updating item specifics right now. They've been talking about it for a long time, but they're acting like they're going to get serious by the end of the year. And on one of my accounts, when I go to the account, it looks like this. This is an actual screenshot. It's just this weird kind of too low res ad telling me to update my item specifics and trying to make me excited about it. And even when on that account, on the slider, it has specially added another thing telling me to get excited about item specifics. So I guess they're pushing it now, and we should look into what that all means. Now, granted, if you haven't seen this stuff, don't worry about it. On my other account, the one I usually use in these videos, there is nothing like this. I assume this is a gradual rollout kind of campaign from them. Let's talk about item specifics and why they're on about it. So if you actually click through from those ads, you go to this page here in the Seller Center. This is supposed to be where you take action based on the enticement in those ads, and it's totally a lot of blah blah blah, and it's a little bit confusing. So I'm gonna go through it and try to translate what eBay is saying about new item specific stuff. So item specifics, as you probably know, are those things when you're doing a listing that are like a parameter and a characteristic, or in other words, color blue, size 7. eBay is saying now that they're increasingly important for search results on eBay and on Google. They want you to get excited about it. They go on to say that in the home and garden category and in the fashion category, buyers are 65% more likely to use filters to narrow down their search results, which means that they're using the checkboxes on the left-hand side to zoom in more granularly on what they're looking for, and your listings are not going to appear in those searches unless you have filled out the corresponding item specifics. They also say that dress listings with item specifics for style and dress length sell 81% more compared with those without. These asterisks just go to a footnote saying that the data was collected in 2017 and 18. They point out that there are in fact required item specifics, and you probably have noticed those because if you don't fill them in, then you can't list your listing, and that they are rolling out more and more of those. There's also recommended ones, which they're saying you should also abide by. Here they're telling you that throughout 2019, they've been talking about how important item specifics are, and they've been updating what's required and recommended in different categories. And then they give you some links to what they've updated in various categories. This is probably helpful if you are doing some major automation or third-party tool stuff, but for normal humans, these downloads are probably not that interesting. So I'll show you one. This is what they're like. It's just some Excel type data. They list what item specifics are required in these categories. They didn't even really bother to make this customer centric. This is obviously just a copy of someone's Excel data who's working on the back end and just was posted it here. Copy of mandates 123. So, you can look at this if you want. That's what those are. This is kind of interesting because they've rolled out this tool and I've completely ignored it, but they have added this little lightning bolt meter thing to your listing form that shows you how well you're doing with your item specifics, more or less. And I'll show you how this works because honestly, I've really kind of been ignoring it in my personal life, but maybe it should be an inspiration to us all. So here's a listing I'm working on. Here's that lightning bolt thing. Improve your chances of selling. Add more details about your item. I'm going to start filling these out. So this pack of gum, or packs of gum, are in fact caffeine free. It gets a little blue. It comes in a box. Gets a little more blue. I don't know the manufacturer's part number, unfortunately, but we'll put NA. It gets a little more blue. We have an expiration. It does have these allergens, which I typed in earlier. It has 5 calories per serving. See, look how well our meter's doing. There are 14 sticks of gum. The serving size is 2.4 grams. Look, I completed it. Now more buyers can find my item. So I don't know how many people are searching specifically for 2.4 gram sticks of gum. Personally, I don't think that's going to have a lot of reward, but it makes this little meter happy. You can even go on and fill in more. But so on and so forth. Point being, this is going to be more and more required as time goes on. So get used to filling in the lightning bolt. So then they go on to say that there's some new features to help with item specifics, that they've added required soon to things that you're going to have to do that you don't have to do yet. And then in your Seller Hub, in the active listings page, in the quick filters, which if you're not seeing them, you can click this little arrow, by the way. Usually it just tells you things like how many items are eligible for best offers and promoted listings and so forth. But they've added filters that tell you how many things need required item specifics, required soon item specifics, recommended item specifics. And in fact, I'm not actually seeing these filters on either of my accounts. So although they say this feature is currently live in the listing flow, it might not be. So maybe you're saying it, maybe you're not, maybe it will appear one day soon. But I can see that when there are listings that are being blocked because they don't have required item specifics, this will be a useful filter. Then they also tell you that they're going to roll out an item specific download upload feature by mid-July, maybe. And it will let you download an Excel file with all your active listings that need to be fixed so that you can do it quickly in bulk. So that is potentially going to be handy if you happen to have gazillions of listings that need updates. But this tool isn't out yet, so I can't really comment on how well it works. And they're also saying that you can use a bulk flow in Seller Hub itself to do the same thing, which would be, clicking on one of these filters if you have them, and then selecting all the items that pops up, and then clicking edit, and then editing them in bulk like you would with any bulk editing task. That will probably be what most of us can do who don't have insane numbers of things to fix. And they also say that they are, in some cases, basically it seems like they're changing the name of some item specifics but they're still the same item specifics. They don't give an example, but I imagine this might be like they change shoe size to women's shoe size, and it was a 7 before and it's a 7 now. So they say that will happen automatically, except where it won't, in which case you'll have to fix it. Then they also say, as mentioned in our February seller news, there are now 2 places on Seller Hub, My eBay, and the app where you can see which of your active listings have missed item specifics. One of them is, in fact, this thing I just talked about. And the other... All right, so here's what they're linking to, updates to how you list, which apparently came out in this February update. What they're talking about specifically, they for some reason did not bother to begin to proofread, but they're just saying that you can quickly find and update your items with missing item specifics in a new tasks feature and a new quick filter. The new tasks feature and quick filter will be updated as we introduce the new item specific requirements. ? Quote. So all they're saying is that those filters will exist, and it will also be in your task module, which is this thing here. And so along with the other tasks you need to do, print labels and ship and so forth, you'll get a thing that says update your item specifics on this many listings. And there's one more thing, and it's quite mysterious, and it's going to go in my next video. But in their propaganda, shall we say, it says in the bottom, plus use OptiSeller for free until December 31st, 2020. So this is a cliffhanger. What could OptiSeller be? Find out in the next video. Hope this was helpful. Thank you and take care.